Hey there, history buffs. Today let's dive into one of the most pivotal moments in history. The Battle of Waterloo. This battle, fought on June 18, 1815, marked the end of an era. It was the final showdown for Napoleon Bonaparte, one of the greatest military leaders the world has ever seen. But how did it all fall apart for him? First, let's set the stage. After escaping exile on the island of Elba, Napoleon returned to France in March 1815, rallying his old supporters and quickly regaining power in what's known as the 100 Days. But his return triggered a coalition of European powers who wanted to put an end to his ambitions once and for all. The battle took place near the small Belgian town of Waterloo. The coalition forces, led by the Duke of Wellington from Britain and Gebhard Leberecht von Blücher from Prussia, were determined to stop Napoleon. Napoleon's army, seasoned and confident, faced off against them. The morning of June 18th was marked by heavy rains, causing delays for both sides. When the battle finally began, Napoleon launched several attacks against the coalition's strong positions, but the coalition forces were well prepared. Wellington had chosen his ground carefully, positioning his troops on a ridge, taking full advantage of the terrain. As the day progressed, the battle seesawed back and forth. Napoleon's troops managed to capture a farmhouse that was key to the coalition's defenses, but they couldn't hold it for long. At a critical moment, Napoleon's Imperial Guard, his most elite troops, were sent into the fray, but they faced stiff resistance and were eventually repelled. This was a turning point. Then came the Prussians. Blücher's forces, who had been delayed by the rain and tough terrain, finally arrived in the late afternoon. Their arrival bolstered the coalition lines and put additional pressure on the exhausted French troops. By evening, Napoleon's forces were overwhelmed. His tactics, once brilliant, seemed outdated against the coordinated efforts of Wellington and Blücher. Realizing defeat was imminent, Napoleon retreated. The coalition's victory at Waterloo effectively ended his rule in the Napoleonic Wars. So, what went wrong for Napoleon? Several factors played a role. The coalition's superior numbers and coordination, Wellington's strategic use of terrain, and the timely arrival of the Prussians. But perhaps most importantly, Napoleon's own overconfidence and underestimation of his enemies led to his downfall. Waterloo wasn't just the end for Napoleon, it reshaped Europe's political landscape. The aftermath saw the rise of new powers and set the stage for a century of relative peace on the continent. There you have it, the Battle of Waterloo in a nutshell, a defining moment in history that teaches us the importance of humility and strategy. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this dive into history, hit that like button and subscribe for more captivating stories from the past. Until next time, stay curious,